I ain't never made a call to Diddy. I got Diddy's number. Just hit him up. Yo, Diddy, what up? Never happened.
He told me to take me shop. I looked at him like, what you just say?
Ooh, this is a tight one. And the winner is Eminem, the Eminem Show.
Wait, he didn't just spell the word rapper and leave out a P, did he? Yep.
You guys don't need to worry about me getting revenge from Diddy. I've got 3 moves that make sure he'll never be able to come after me or my family. First, I personally reached out to the victims' legal teams. The real reason he's not getting out is those buried cases behind the scenes. I provided legal funding for 7 victims who had been silent for years and brought in the top criminal attorneys in the country. Second, I bought up every potential post-release business deal he had lined up. I planned this 2 years in advance, so by the time he got sentenced and still had hope of getting out, every partner had already cut ties with him. Third, I don't just have evidence, I've got backups. This is an entire minefield that's been buried for 20 years. I uncovered every secret from the last 30 years. With testimonies from the victims, we interviewed over a dozen people he tricked, threatened, or violated. You think that's harsh? No, he destroyed other people's lives for decades. I'm just making sure he spends a few extra years in prison for it. I'm not afraid of his people, not afraid of his threats. I know he's still in there fantasizing about a comeback, but the truth is, he's never coming back.
That's why I don't be going to them puffy parties. They can hug you from the front and the back at the same time. Fuck you talking about? Look, if you into that, I'm fine with it. See if so. I'm just saying this ain't my kind of party. I like it. It's uncomfortable. I think I belong in the girls' bathroom. Like that is what you mean.
The reason why their groups are so close is because all of them have a certain type of STD. I think they all got the alphabet. Now, bear with me, guys, because I'm not even trying to cap. I looked at it like this. You know they're not using condoms, right? So if you're in a party not using condoms, it ain't like you could catch something twice, right? You know, so if you already got something, ain't like you can catch it again. So I believe, one of my theories is that these people at these Diddy parties were so close because they all had STDs.
I also didn't participate. I also didn't go to those parties. Yeah. So a lot of the celebrity culture that you don't hear saying anything is because they participate. So,
was there a reason you never went to those parties back in the day? Obviously, I know what was going on there, but is there a reason you never did?
I'm just not with all that. All of the stuff that he's doing, I'm not into that type of stuff. I'm just a little more, maybe you could say basic or normal.
Was the only one saying something out loud while everyone else stayed quiet. And here's where it gets uncomfortable. He claims he saw the signs long before the headlines exploded. It didn't start with social media. It goes back to early 2000s New York, when Curtis 50 Cent Jackson was rebuilding his life after being Shazero T9 times and left for D*ED. While some artists played industry politics, 50 came back with nothing to lose. That's the part people forget. He entered the game already betrayed once. Trust wasn't automatic. And in that era, as Sean Diddy Combs was building his mogul image, there was already quiet tension brewing beneath the surface. At first, it looked like normal rap rivalry, competitive energy, ego clashes, ghostwriting rumors floating around the industry, never proven, always disputed. But then 50's tone shifted. He didn't just compete, he questioned. He publicly mocked. He hinted that certain rooms weren't for him. And that's where it gets messy. He repeatedly said he never attended certain private parties. Not his scene, he claimed. According to his own statements and interviews, he felt something was off. Now, that's his perspective, not proven, not confirmed in court, but consistent. And here's a detail that lingers. He said it years before lawsuits were filed.
Fred than you, living after being shot 9 times.
I don't know what the criteria is off of street credibility. Or
That's
if
it.
If there's something that creates more merit for you. I looked at that experience as something that was unfortunate that I had to.
I forget, why did the guy shoot you 9 times? Was it drugs or something?
He was paid to do it.
He was paid to do it?
Yeah.
Who would want to shoot you?
Why were you targeted?
You're such a good guy.
It's my past.
It was a drug thing?
No,
like a business thing?
Karma.
Karma?
Explain to me again why this guy was hired to shoot you 9 times.
Well, he was paid because someone, felt like that I would potentially do something to them if they kept going in the direction that they were going.
Man, you are tough.
What are you talking about?
The fact that somebody put out a hit on him because he was going to f somebody up. What kind of shit is that? That's crazy.
What is this all over?
I don't know.
It's difficult to explain, Robin, because you're not actually an environmental involved in this.
Just
You can explain it to me.
Explain it. We'll see if we can follow it.
Nah, man, it's just,
What happened? What had you?
it's
what,
so tough.
You were pissed off at someone and you were going after them. What were you pissed off about?
Nah, we was just having differences.
Oh, like over what? A woman?
Nah,
No
just
way.
going back and forth. Like a guy got robbed in the actual neighborhood.
And he accused you of robbing.
Nah, he just seen me communicating with someone who actually
robbed him.
And he misinterpreted the conversation because he seen me laughing and us talking, but he didn't know I grew up with the guy.
You're talking to a guy who you don't even know up this other guy.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden they think you're in cahoots with this guy.
Yeah, because you see you laughing and talking, they figure you laughing and talking about them.
Pain-wise, how bad is it to get shot in the face? Like, I mean...
Probably... I don't know how to describe that outside of...
Is it a 10 on the pain scale?
It's not really like... Because it's not as painful as having to visit the dentist repeatedly for root canal.
Really? Do you think you're dead at that point? When you take 9 bullets, do you go, oh, this is it, I'm checking out?
Well, you know it's a life-threatening situation. It's just not... I've seen people going to the hospital under circumstances that were way less intense and not come out.
Yeah, it's a miracle you lived. Did you think you were like Jesus had like saved you or something? Like, did you have a religious?
Where were all these bullets?
Yeah, you have those moments where you get a little closer connection to your higher power because you kind of don't have an answer.
But where were all these bullets? Because if you're shot 9 times and you live, it probably didn't hit anything important.
Meanwhile, how lame is this guy who shot you?
Everything's important, Robin. Everything's important.
But 50, how lame is this?
Put you in one of your unimportant areas, Robin.
Yeah, right. What's an unimportant area? You're right.
What the?
Oh, yeah, he shot you in unimportant areas.
I'm talking medically.
But it's amazing his face isn't scarred from getting shot in the face, right?
I got the little dimple.
Oh, is that what?
As 50's career exploded, music, films, television, he kept poking. Subtle jabs turned into open ridicule. Some brushed it off as marketing. Others called it personal. But industry silence remained loud. Big names stood next to Diddy at award shows. Cameras flashed. Smiles everywhere. And yet 50 stayed publicly distant. He later suggested, in interviews and podcasts, that fear keeps people quiet. That power in entertainment isn't just about hits. It's about leverage. Allegations have since surfaced in civil lawsuits involving Diddy, all disputed and denied by his legal team, with cases ongoing and not fully proven in court. But the timing raised eyebrows, because right as legal storms intensified, 50 announced something bold. A documentary project, reportedly in partnership with Netflix. He framed it as accountability, not gossip, not revenge. His words implied exposure. Critics argue it could be opportunistic. Supporters say it's strategic truth-telling. Either way, it shifted the narrative. Now it wasn't just social media jokes. It was structured storytelling.
Later, he disclosed plans for a whole documentary series that would only discuss 50 Cent's music, his ongoing feud with Diddy, and the mounting accusations against him. This wasn't your typical eye-catching social media gimmick. It was a well-planned initiative meant to reveal what he said was the secret side of one of the most influential people in the music business. 50 Cent had already given Netflix the rights by May, guaranteeing that the narrative would be seen by a large global audience and make his allegations a topic of discussion.
Thank you. Now let's get to a few of this morning's other big headlines.
Starting with a bombshell announcement amid the mounting lawsuits against Sean Diddy Combs, Houston rapper 50 Cent announced yesterday that he's the executive producer of a docuseries about the assault and allegations against Combs. The series will also discuss trafficking and racketeering charges Combs is facing. The series is expected to make a premiere on Netflix, but a date has not yet been set.
So you have something huge coming up, which is a documentary about P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, P. Diddy.
Yeah.
Did he do it, right? I know you've been heavy on social media talking about it.
He did it. And I'm the only one who's been vocal about this long before it actually
oh, you've been saying this for a long time now. And then no one was, they're just, why is he saying this? And now it's coming out like crazy. I mean,
but I also didn't participate. I also didn't go to those parties.
Yeah.
So a lot of the celebrity culture that you don't hear saying anything is because they participated. So,
but was there a reason you never went to those parties back in the day? Obviously, I know what's going on there, but is there a reason you never did?
I'm just not with all that freaky. Like all of the stuff that he's doing, I'm not into that type of stuff. I'm just a little more, maybe you could say basic or normal. You go to the 90s, Kiki D said they paid him to kill Tupac.
Yeah.
So look, like, you get the craziest accusations. You had TMZ created a docu-series that went to Tubi, but the series is saying the downfall of Diddy.
You're one of the first persons in entertainment that really call out people and kind of have that authority in that to be able to call people out. I mean, which is, it's pretty amazing. You're kind of, in some ways, draining the swamp of Hollywood. And
yeah, I don't have a support system. I don't have a support system of peer group of artists that I require to do what I'm doing. I've had to be on my own from the beginning. So I don't necessarily have a responsibility to behave a certain way according to them. And look, if I didn't have an award-winning director doing it, if I hadn't put the right people in place to produce it properly, I wouldn't understand why they would question or doubt anything.
Let me ask you this. Do you think she knew what he was doing?
I believe she knew he was doing the freak-offs. But do I believe she knew he was allocating different monies to different places and which way it was going, which offshore accounts, which Swiss banks accounts, and all that shit was going in? Nah. I think she just was enjoying the fruits of the labor.
But why you believe she knew about the freak-offs?
Because one of the witnesses said she was there. And do you remember this, bro? Check it out. People tell off on themselves so much, man, and I don't understand when people don't catch it. Diddy has said this. He said, when I give a party, I have to have an ambulance outside of the house. Paramedics ready. That people have to take IVs. Remember the time that him and his mama kissed each other on the lips?
Yeah, I remember that video.
Do you remember that both of them was getting an IV at the same time?
Yeah, I did notice that.
That's from the Diddy freak-off party. And I'm going to say allegedly.
So let me ask you this. You knowing her at you knowing her personally, is she the kind of person that, will be a part of a freak-off?
I think that she liked to party, and she partied with young people. She's always been like that.
But to get back to this lawsuit, right, Lil Rod, he also alleges that, Diddy, he would grope his genitals and he would grope his anus.
My man, I didn't understand that one right now because his anus is your asshole. His genitals is his nut. So I guess he had to be naked when Puff was doing that. Where was he at? What was he doing? Because he said that they never had. So if you read it in the thing, they never had. He made claims that they never had. But how would he grope your anus? Your asshole? How would he play with your genitals?
Yeah, it don't make sense. I mean,
it don't make sense. How you wake up butt the F naked with two other men in the bed with Diddy and nothing happened? I think he was just trying to save face, man.
But do you think there's a possibility that he meant that, Diddy will grope his, butt, instead of anus? I mean, so I'm trying to figure out how does that work? Somebody groping your anus.
You gonna say your butt. The lawyer would say, what do you mean? He would say, my butt cheeks. There's a such thing called butt cheeks. Your two cheeks. He said anus. The anus is the asshole. How did he get that far? Lil Rod, you gotta say no to Diddy something. No, that shit ain't funny, man. But you gotta say no.
So from you reading the lawsuit, right, you feel like he had a relationship with Diddy?
When me being a former investigator, I think Lil Rod was trying to save face on certain things, that he had somewhat of a relationship, or he was doing some things with Diddy that he didn't want to really come out in that fashion. Because there's no way that he gonna wake up and his anus is hurting and his genitals is all over the place, and he's in the bed after being drunk or drugged and saying nothing happened. And you think that Diddy gonna be in the bed with 3 other men and nothing happened? It doesn't sound logical. If we're reading and believing what he said in those papers. If you woke up in bed and you was drunk or intoxicated on ecstasy, on whatever drugs that they put in there, roofied you or whatever, and you not and you not feeling right, something is wrong. Wouldn't you say? Something is wrong. He didn't say, we woke up with all my clothes. He said, we woke up butt the F naked.
As courtroom footage circulated and alleged victims described traumatic experiences, allegations still working through the legal system, 50 reacted publicly, sometimes with humor, sometimes with sharp commentary. Some saw insensitivity, others saw consistency. And here's the part people miss. He doesn't rely on the same industry pipeline anymore.
He built television empires, production deals, business ventures. He doesn't need radio spins or label approval. That independence changes a power dynamic. When someone doesn't need permission, they speak differently. And that's where speculation about lists and celebrity connections starts swirling online. Speculation, not verified facts. But zoom out for a second. This isn't just about 2 moguls clashing. It's about influence, silence, leverage, and what happens when alleged secrets start surfacing in public view. It's about who talks early, who talks late, and who never talks at all. And now the question isn't whether 50 Cent was joking. The real question is this: was he warning people the whole time? Or is this simply a rivalry that spiraled into something much bigger than either man expected?
Deepened his conviction that the whole truth was still unknown.
Violation I have experienced during the assault has had lasting effects on my body, causing ongoing health problems and complications. The combination of physical and emotional pain has created a cycle of suffering from which it is so hard to break free. I want to continue on this journey towards recovery and healing. I'm glad that he is locked up, but that a temporary feeling of relief.
His thing was turning straight men gay. That was his thing. Where's Hype? What's his last film project?
Belly?
Yeah, DMX was a star in that.
Facts. Facts. Jab, my question to you is, and again, we're just talking the psychology of a man.
What if the entertainment industry is nothing but a cover for a worldwide dream?
You mentioned who's on tapes and who got tapes out.
Yeah.
The purpose of having a recorded freak off.
Yeah.
What does that do for the male? What does that do for the female? Like, some females are cool with it. What is the thought behind that as far as, let's record this session and either rewatch, keep it for sale? Is it evidence? Is it just, like, what is the mentality behind having
if you can
the
own
visual
someone's
memory?
their vulnerability, if you can own that, you have the ability to control and manipulate that person. See, guys start off by saying, ooh, man, I don't want to watch porn. I just want to watch us. See, that's the line.
That's the line.
Wouldn't you rather me be watching us than watching a bunch of other? See, the finesse, that fluff. Do you really want me watching anybody else but you? I could look at you all day. Vanity. See, make her feel special. Make her feel like she's the only, ooh, the object. Meanwhile, this is sitting here thinking, so her daddy works at Sony and I need such and such as contract ended.
Does it also work this way for men?
Absolutely. And it's worse for the men. Women are used to being the victims of, not men. No man walks in thinking that another man is looking at him like a lollipop. Not a straight man. You are only hip to the that you hip to. You know what I mean? Which is why you hear so many people say they went to Diddy parties and they felt like something was off and decided to leave, or they got invited to another room and they decided to go because they felt like it wasn't right, or whatever the case may be. These was literally walking in there not thinking. Seriously, but the thing is, they were still willing to take the chance to go because everybody's been hearing these whispers.
I didn't do nothing Puffy did. Yeah, no, it was just so excitement. There's so much excitement that there was no reason for me to put something in our drink.
Oh my goodness.
I need you to remember. I need you to remember this.
The foundation.
Thank you. I told you I'd jump around.
Puff haven't liked each other business-wise for a long time.
Well, that's why. It's only business. It was really, away from that, I explained why I didn't hang out with him. Right? Because it's fluffy.
It's not your scene.
It's not my style.
Not your scene.
They hug you from the front and the back at the same time. I got uncomfortable with him because the way he was acting to try and get me to hang out with him was like, yo, I'll take you shopping. And I'm like, what you mean? That's something you say to a woman you're attracted to, maybe.
Right.
It's just weird, bro. And now you start to see a lot of the weird stuff that was there. It looks like it all lines up, don't it? It was not in the closet. It was in front of you and you wasn't seeing it because you see the beards. Or you see the girls. So you didn't look at them the way it actually is to a degree. And when I say people respond, how people respond to things matter, like the internet will take to it and just go off with it. Meek responds being the uncomfortability. He goes, yo, I gotta spend $100,000 to find out why my name is in this like this. And it's in it only because he's uncomfortable. You don't hear him talking about French. French is right there. Right? Why you get so quiet? You guys make me feel like I'm so scared.
Well, I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot.
No, they see this. You see this. They see this.
They see it.
Nah, you see this. They want to act like, oh, we got nothing to do with that. If we could just...
No, that ain't it.